What's up? This is Michael Rapaport. This is my YouTube page. Subscribe, rate, review. Leave a comment. If you leave a comment, good, bad, or indifferent, I might respond. I probably will respond. I read them all. So leave a comment, and thanks for watching. What else? So, something good that came from social media this weekend. I believe it was Tony Baker, comedian. It's a comedian named Tony Baker. Got a good social media presence, does funny stuff. I think it was him who named the top 5 white rappers of all time. Top 5 white rappers of all time. I was too busy kicking butt in fantasy football to partake. But as I was looking for the hashtag Josh Jacobs and everything about Josh Jacobs and about all my fantasy football players, a.k.a. Rapaport's Delight, a.k.a. History of Violence, a.k.a. Make It Stop, Make It Stop, I noticed that Action Bronson was trending. And that led me to this discussion mainly on Twitter. It could be such a good place, social media, if everybody's verified. Everybody could talk freely, openly, just how you would do in real life, but you wouldn't go around saying craziness to people. But I noticed Action Bronson, who I like Action Bronson a lot. I like him as a person. I like him as a personality. I like him as a musician. I like him as a cook. I like him as an influencer. He's evolved. He's almost like the Anthony Bourdain of hip hop. That's who I equivalent Action Bronson to, like the Anthony Bourdain of hip hop. He cooks. He works out. He's all in his fitness. He wrestles. He throws out first pitches at Shea Stadium. You know, he's got a New Balance sneaker that he designed coming out. You know, for the most part, Action Bronson has remained in the good graces of everybody, except for that one time he screwed up saying something bad about Ghostface Killer. But I know he probably regrets that. I'm not going to speak for him. That got out of hand. But, you know, you move past things. I think Action Bronson is very, very, very well liked across the board. Me personally, I rock with Action Bronson. He's just cool. Cool dude, likable dude, smart dude. And he evolves. Like I say, he's like the world's most interesting man. He's like the Anthony Bourdain of hip hop. So the list of the greatest white rappers of all time, some people were saying you got to exclude Eminem, who is without a doubt, he could be in top 5, top 3, arguably top 1 rapper of any race, creed, color. Eminem. Where he'll land, I don't know. But nobody can have a conversation about MCs and not say that Eminem isn't officially official. Whether he's your favorite, whether he's your... You know what I'm saying? Eminem's dope. Just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Gave a dope speech. Thanked everybody. He took way, way, way too long for King of Chill. I mean, he thanked everybody. He didn't leave a name off the list. He must have Google searched it because he King of Chill, Casanova Rudd, Super Lover C. I mean, you know, the most obvious to the Dr. Dre's, the Snoops, the Tupacs, to people. I was like, yo, Eminem, Eminem is, come on, he's Eminem. So this discussion of white rappers, who's the best white rappers outside of Eminem? Me, Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. White Mike, is going to throw my hat. Mike Rapp, a.k.a. White Mike, is going to throw his opinion into the mix here about white rappers. Who's the best white rappers? Who's the most influential? Who's the most important? And I'm not going to do a list because the lists are ridiculous. Obviously, Eminem is there. Needs no introduction. And then when I think of white rappers, the first name that pops into my mind is the Beastie Boys. God rest his soul, MCA. King Ad Rock. Mike D. Yo, the Beastie Boys, yo, you could say what you want. They got smackers. They evolved. They always stuck to being themselves. When they came out, when that first record came out, yo, rhyming and, forget Don't Sleep Till Brooklyn. I'm talking about, those were bang bangers. 85, 86, that record, when that first record came out, pure hip hop. Not every song was perfect. Like Don't Sleep Till Brooklyn, but it's aged well. It's like a fun song. It's very of the times. But the Beastie Boys, and like I said, they started doing instrumentals. They just were themselves. They continued to be themselves through their entire careers. Obviously, with the passing of MCA, the Beastie Boys are no more. But everybody loves the Beastie Boys. They are game changers. They're pillars of hip hop. So when you talk about white rappers, obviously it's a group, but the white rapper list, and I don't usually write things down, the white rapper list is scarce. It ain't good. You got to do some digging to come up with a true blue white rappers list. So you go Eminem, you go obviously Beastie Boys, Action Bronson. In my opinion, Action Bronson, I have to put him up there in the top 5 of my White Mike's all-time white rapper list. Because when he first came out with those mixtapes, although his flow was very, very, very influenced by Ghostface Killer, it was fun. What he was saying was fun. It was unique. He's made a lot of music. Action Bronson has made a lot of music, which is important for me when it comes to lists. We talk about Tupac, Biggie, R.I.P., 25 years old. Obviously, what they did will live on forever, but the body of work is so small, particularly Biggie, because he's 25 years old. It's so sad, but so impressive that those two guys in particular could have did what they did in such a short period of time. 25. That's not a grown man. That's a young man. The thing that I like about Action Bronson is that he continues to make music. He continues to do all these other things, but he always comes back to hip hop. And I would imagine that the reason why he comes back to hip hop, why he comes back to rhyming, is he must like it. Because he has other sources of income. Homie is, like I said, cooking, cookbooks, restaurants. He's got parties. He's got sneakers. He's got WWE. Personally, I like his earlier stuff because I felt like the beats were more boom bap than the more recent stuff. Some of the more recent stuff is a little bit too hydroponic. The beats are a little way out there for me, so it changes up his flow. But top 5 white rapper of all time, gotta go Action Bronson. He's on that list. And I like saying that because I like him. You got to talk about Mac Miller. Again, young man. I believe he was 27 when he passed. God, man, you got to stay off these pills, man. Pills and the mixing and matching the pills. It's one thing to be on pills, but when you're on pills and this, and on juice and that, cough syrup and pills, this is not a science class. Leave that up to the science teachers. But Mac Miller, although personally I don't love his songs, a lot of guest appearances, a lot of freestyles, too young. I met him a couple times, super nice. His freestyles and his flows and his knowledge of hip hop and his love of hip hop, you could see it. And I have to put him up there. And then, when we move further in the list, you got to talk about my man OG Paul Wall, longevity, totally. I didn't even know. I thought Paul Wall was like Puerto Rican or something when I first saw him. Because he had like the dark hair, he had the grills, he's got like, the slanty eyes. I was like, homie's got to be mixed with something. But he's white. OG Paul Wall, friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, sick whisperer, sends in all kinds of sick. Good guy, businessman, ahead of his time, broad thinker. Got to put him on that list. His records, his joint that he just put out with Terminology, dope. He always puts out music, Paul Wall. Always thinking ahead. No one can question his genuineness. And it's funny because when I was talking to somebody about doing White Mike's white rapper list, they were saying, well, this one, that one, how much do they love the culture? And I said, you know what? If they love the culture. And because I was saying, of course, if you're a rapper, you love the culture. But why can't we just grade them on their skills? You either got it or you don't got it. Of course, you want the white rappers to be genuine. You don't want your white rappers like Kid Rock. Kid Rock, you're trash. Kid Rock, you're body. I don't know how you got a pass. I don't know how you snuck in there. You're whack. You was whack when you was trying to rap. You was whack when you was writing or when you was rocking with that little dude. God rest his soul. You started out trash. You've always been trash. You didn't love hip-hop. You used hip-hop. You look like you got into a motorcycle accident 11 years ago and no one ever came to help you. You look ridiculous. You don't love hip-hop. You don't like hip-hop culture. You used and abused hip-hop. You're not on my list with your ba-diddy-ba-da-ba-da-da, which you took from Kool Moe D. Does Kool Moe D make money off that song? Kool Moe D should make money off that song. That Kid Rock song, ba-diddy-ba-da-ba-da-da, whatever the garbage that was. From the infamous Kool Moe D, Busy Bee battle. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. The Kool Moe D Busy Bee battle, in my opinion, Nas and Jay-Z's good, LL and Mo D, LL, but nobody got ripped. Ether's sick. Takeover is sick. Like I said, Ice Cube's killed people. Common went at Ice Cube. There's a lot of good battle rap music. But the very best of the best is when Kool Moe D went to the Disco Fever, I believe, and destroyed the great. I mean, he did it in his grill. He did it in his face. And if you listen to it, it sounds like he snuck attack him. Like, because he said, stop, cut that out. And to me, that's the greatest performance. That's the greatest battle rap song, the greatest battle rap of Furious when Mo D and the Treacherous Three killed Busy Bee live in his grill piece, and it's only on tape. I thought about doing that as a short film once. I was talking to my man ASAP 12y about playing Kool Moe D and recreating that moment as a short film because I've always been fascinated by it. Like, what did the club smell like? How many people were in the club? Who recorded it? Who decided to record it? What were they wearing? Because to me, that's just such an important moment in hip-hop culture is Mo D doing that. And he says to Busy Bee, put that ba-diddy-ba bull. That's where you got that from, Kid Rock, you bozo. Take a shower. Kid Rock, take a shower. You got to have access to a shower. Hot or cold, soap, Johnson's & Johnson's. Wash your hair. You look dirty. You look dirty. You look dusty, and you look unkept. You're not on my list. When we get to the rest of the list here, it gets dicey. And this means no disrespect to R.A. the Rugged Man, dope. Means no disrespect to my man LP, Run the Jewels. Found his voice, his lane with Run the Jewels. LP from Brooklyn. Run the Jewels that's a ridiculous group who puts out a lot of music. Banging production. Yellow Wolf, he could rhyme. But like for me, I'm like, yo, who would I listen to in the car? I've said this once. I said this a million times. I'm 52. I'm about to be 53. I don't have that much time throughout the day. When you feed yourself music, you want to be precious with that time. I'm not going to just listen. I don't have time to waste listening to bad music. No disrespect. And I'm not saying any of the people that I'm naming are bad, But Yellow Wolf, I've seen him freestyle. He's ill freestyle. He'll show up on Sway. He'll show up on this one. He's rhyming. But at the end of the day, me, Michael Rapaport, like, I don't know any of his songs. Again, I don't mean that with any disrespect. You know, LP, I said him. ASAP Rock, he's another one. He's been doing it for years. You know, you could say, oh, this is good, that is good. But who will I, for me, at this point in my life, I don't go to clubs. If I'm listening to hip hop, most of the time, it's when I'm working out. It's before I'm doing a show. It's when I'm in my car in that mood. I'm not going to waste my time listening to something that's subpar when there's so much dope music to listen to. Doesn't mean that any of these people are not dope. Evidence, he's on the list. I've never heard his music. You heard Evidence? I heard his name. I don't know any of his music. Sure, he's good. Underrated group. Evidence, he's Spanish. White Mike's white rapper list. I'm going to say this right now. White Mike's white rappers list. You got to be all white. I'm going to get to search. White Mike's all rapper list. You can't be part white, half white, half Spanish. None of that. This is all white rappers by White Mike. Mike Raps all white rapper list. Logic, very successful. Loves hip hop, loves the culture. When you talk about white rappers, you got to talk about how much they love the culture. Which you would never have to talk about. I'm going to get to it. Which you would never have to talk about if you were just talking about your greatest MC list. You wouldn't say how much they love the culture because it would be a given. Logic, allegedly, nice guy too. Half black. You're off the list, Logic. Sorry. You're not on my list. Can't do a white rapper list without talking about Third Base. Some great songs. Brooklyn Queens, Gasface, MC Search. I used to see MC Search. Search is my guy. I used to see MC Search in the clubs, 85, 86, and so on and so forth. Me and him, we knew each other and we never spoke a word because he and I were and I say only, the only white dudes in Union Square and Latin Quarters. I don't give a other white dudes might have come through there on nights I wasn't there. But MC Search had the 8-ball jacket. He had the glasses. MC Search has been rocking the bifocals from day one. He's had poor vision probably when he came out the womb. Never saw him without glasses. Me and him were the only white dudes. Union Square, Latin Quarters. I never saw him at the rooftop, but I would see him all the time at Union Square, Latin Quarters. And then next thing I know, I didn't know he was a rapper. I would see him dancing. They'd be like, go white boy, go white boy. And Search would be dancing. He had the high top fade, the dark hair, the nice curly hair. Jew, Jewish, full Jew, proud Jew. Of course, he came out with the group Third Base. They had joints. They had bangers, great production, and all that stuff. But it seems like, from what I know, and I've never asked him this group was put together because I think they only made that one record, and then what's his name? Pete. What was his name? Pete. Not Pete Rock. Pete Nice. I don't feel like Pete Nice cared about rap. I feel like they just found him, and they put him with MC Search to make this white boy rap group, which is a shame. But they're not as significant as the Beastie Boys or even Action Bronson. Not to say that Search is hip hop. Everybody who knows hip hop knows it's Search. MC Search, Michael Barron is hip hop, pure hip hop. His history with Nas, his history as an executive, his track record and his resume needs no introduction. He's from New York, from Brooklyn. Search needs no explanation. But like I said, we start talking about Little Dicky. No disrespect to Little Dicky. I met Little Dicky. He's a great kid. I had him on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. His show, Dave, is great. It's funny. It's weird. I'd have him, as far as these young rappers, I'd pick him if I was doing a battle rap team today to take out a lot of these dudes. His raps are funny. He's got ill flows. This is goofball. You can't take it. And he means it to be funny. I had Lil Dicky on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, and I remember he told me he never heard a song by A Tribe Called Quest. I almost kicked him off the podcast. If he wasn't such a nice person, I'd have been like, yo, that's it. You got to go. Not to, and because I said, no De La, no Gangstar. He was like, no. I was like, why are we here? Like, how did you get here? How do you, because he could rhyme. Like Lil Dicky could rhyme, but I was like, how do you know how to rhyme if you, and he explained himself, but I remember being like, yo, I need to kick him off. Like, yo, shut the mics off. But then we go into guys like Millie's, ill freestyler. Looking forward to what he comes out with. Idea. Asher Roth made some good freestyles, some cute videos and all that stuff. Jack Harlow, you're not on my list, Duke. You ain't on my list of white rappers. Sorry, White Mike's all white rapper list, you're not on there. And then someone asked me, Post Malone. Hell, this is another dude, Post Malone. Remember Post Malone came out with the braids and he did this song, White Iverson, and I think he was rapping. Great name for a song, White Iverson. He hasn't rhymed a lyric since. He loves hip-hop, works with hip-hop artists, all that stuff, but this is not a rapper. I don't put him in the hip-hop category. My friend Toby just went to go see him at the Forum, said it was sold out, said people were dropping, crying, going nuts. Huge star, big deal. You don't make White Mike's white rapper list. That's all I have. The other person I give a shout out to is Czarface. Esoteric. Czarface is an ill group with Inspect the Deck. They're ill. The production's ill. They put out a lot of music, but Czarface is not all white. This is the all white White Mike rapper list. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. OT Genesis? Oh, yeah, OT Genesis is good too, young kid. Good question. Everlast. Another guy. Everybody loves Everlast. Jump Around, House of Pain, production, mugs, stupid, ridiculous, dusty, dirty. Was it Mugs? Yeah, Mugs. Yeah. Jump Around's a hit. They're probably making money on that till the day that they die. The Jump Around remix, Pete Rock added the horns. I can't keep them on the list, Danny Boy, because when you're in hip hop and then you never rap again, made that huge, he's had a lot of struggles, Everlast. He talks about it very openly. Health stuff, drug stuff. Listen, they made a couple of songs that are sick. Before that, he was like the pretty boy rapper from LA, totally different style. Then he found his way, embracing his Irish roots, House of Pain, Jump Around. They have to be in the conversation. They have to be in the conversation. But the body of work is not, that's what I don't understand. That's why I had to put Action Bronson. He had to scoot up there because the body of work is it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, House of Pain has to be on there. And they know their hip hop. They've been around for, House of Pain's on there. 100% House of Pain's on there. Shout out to Danny Boy. Shout out to Everlast. And of course, DJ Muggs, who's continuing to put out music that's dope. Ill Bill, my man Slain, all those dudes, all good too. The young black teenagers. See, again, what here? What was this? This is like some kook. The young black teenager. And I ran into one of the kids from Young Black Teenagers a couple of years ago. Totally nice guy. But if I'm talking about the list of music that I would listen to, it's far and few between. And of course, all these people, everybody I named, all loves hip hop, all respects hip hop. But I'm talking about the list of white rappers that I would actually listen to on my own accord. That's White Mike's white rapper list for now. part 1. I'm done. I'm finished. Yo, thank you for watching. Michael Rapaport, my YouTube page. Leave a comment, okay? I read them all. I check them all out. If you leave a comment, I might respond, even if it's not a good one, but I prefer a good one. Thanks for watching.